Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening. On behalf of our Founder-Acharya Srila Prabhupada and Iskcon Chicago, I would like to welcome all of you for our Krishna Fest this evening. Today's speaker is a very old devotee of Sri Kishore Kishori, Satchitananda Prabhu. Let's welcome him with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol! He has been serving their lordships for a long time, and not only in Chicago, but all over the world. He has been associated with Hare Krishna movement for over 20 years. So earlier he was in India, in Europe, and when I started coming to the temple, he was serving here. It is about 4 years ago, he moved to Canada. 6 years now? Oh, how time flies. So he has been in Canada, and he was visiting us here. He has been with us. We are very, very happy to have your association. And we are really grateful that you are speaking this evening to all of us. Thank you so much. Please stay back after the class. We have some very interesting program. There will be just one program which I will mention about is a Odissi dance, which will be presented after the class. So please do not run for prasadam before you go. Just enjoy, and it will be a very, very special program.
There's also a puppet show by the Sunday school.
Oh, there's a puppet show also. So that's by the Sunday school children. So it will be really something very, very interesting. So prasadam will be served later today. It won't be served at 6:30. So please stay back. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
This can be removed. Haribol. Srila Prabhupada Gurudev ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। ओ यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा जय गौरानिताय, जय गौरानिताय, जय गौरानिताय, जय गौरानिताय। जय किशोर किशोरी, जय किशोर किशोरी, जय किशोर किशोरी, जय किशोर किशोरी। जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेवा, जय बलदेवा, जय सुभद्रा, जय सुभद्रा। प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya. Jayom Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivajagacharya Ashtottar Shata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Mathura Dham Ki Jai Shri Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaved Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Samaved Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Guru Gauranga. All glories to Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Acharya Guru Varg Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. Thank you. Hare Krishna. It is such an honor to be here, back here at New Seva Kunj. Shri Kishore Kishori ki, Nitai Gaur Sundar ki, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki, Srila Prabhupada ji ki. So today, the topic that has been chosen is entitled By Their Example. And there are so many wonderful Vaisnava bhajans and even shlokas in the scriptures that describe the glories of the great Vaishnavas, of the Acharyas, of the preceptors in our Gaudiya line. And one of the most prominent bhajans that we sing every morning is the Mangalarti. And what better way to start the day when we sing the glorification of the Acharyas. First of all, let me offer my humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas who are present here. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manoabhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadaki Svadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Guron Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantu Namastate Tapta Kanchara Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. Aradhya Bhagwan Vrajesha Tanayas Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachid Upasna Vrajavadu Vargena Taya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavata Puranamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Mataidam Na Yatra Agraha Paraha. Many of us who are making some endeavors in our spiritual life, and the key question arises that how can we advance in our spiritual life? Some of us have been newly practicing, some of us have been practicing for several years and several decades. But no matter at what level we are, the key question is, how can I advance in Krishna consciousness? How can I please the divine couple? And some of the key answers are given in our Vaisnava bhajans. Our Vaisnava bhajans have been compiled by some of the purest entities in the entire creation. They are the associates of the divine couple, especially in our Gaudiya line. These, our acharyas who descend from the higher realm, they are the direct associates and the servitors of Srimati Radharani. And they explain us through their different realizations that they put forth in their writings, in the form of scriptures and in the form of bhajans. Some of the most prominent acharyas that we can immediately think of is not only our Srila Prabhupada, who has given us over 100 books and so many wonderful lectures and discussions, but the entire Guru Parampara that we are in. We are very fortunate to be in such a wonderful disciplic succession. It is said that the mercy of Krishna descends. The particular term they use in Sanskrit, especially those who have learned music in the Vedic culture, there are two ways one can sing the ragas. It's aroha and avaroha. Aroha is when from the low to the high, descending to the ascending. And avaroha is from the ascending to the descending order. So, the mercy of Krishna comes in a descending order. There are many, as we all know, there are different types of, there are four major Vaishnava Sampradayas. We happen to belong to the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And in this Sampradaya, Krishna first gave knowledge to Brahma, Brahma gave knowledge to Naradji, and then Naradji gave knowledge to Vyasadeva, who is the compiler of all the Vedas and so many different auxiliary literatures, including Upanishads and the Vedanta Sutra. And of course, the greatest work that he himself recognizes Vyasadeva is Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamuni Krite Kim Va Parai Ishvara Sadhyo Avaruddhyate Atra Kritibi Shushrubi Tatshanat. There is no need for any other scripture than Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyasadeva himself admits that in his maturity. And one, when serves the Bhagavatam with desire, Krutubhi and Shushrubhi, the desire to serve a Bhagavat has two connotations here. One is the book Bhagavat, and one is the Bhagavat, one who follows the Bhagavat, meaning Srila Prabhupada and our Acharyas. So when we serve the Bhagavat, the book Bhagavat and the person Bhagavat, we can actually avaruddhyate Krishna, we can arrest Krishna within our heart immediately. And the question arises that how can we do that? How can we progress? How can we gain the love? In order to gain the love of anybody, from our practical experience, we have seen that first we have to know the person. We have to know the person. In our practical life, supposing if a father and mother wants to get their daughter married, then, or their son married, they want to first know information about the possible groom or the bride. What is he doing? What family is he from? What kind of a job is he doing? What is his character? Things like that. Once you have information on that particular individual or individuals, then you will feel like either forming a relationship or keeping away. Similarly, if we want to form a relationship, a deep relationship with Krishna, Vrajendranandan Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, Gopijana Vallabha Krishna, the foremost and most dearest of all the gopis, that Krishna, if we want, then first of all, we have to try to know, have information on his family, on his associates. Until and unless we don't develop love for our acharyas, for the Vaishnavas, then it will be extremely difficult to come into the inner circle of Krishna, of Radharani. This is the key essential and that is the main reason. Glorifying Krishna is definitely there, but if you look at any acharya's works, they glorify the Vaishnavas and their gurus and the acharyas, their predecessors. Is it not true if we carefully examine? And that is what this Mangal Arati that we sing early in the morning, it starts even before glorifying Krishna, we glorify the acharya. This Mangal Arati was composed in the 17th century by a great Vaishnava Acharya by the name of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He comes in the line, of course, in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, but he comes in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He comes in the line of Narottam Das Thakur to Krishna Charan Das, to Radharaman Charan Das, and he's a disciple of Radharaman Charan Das who comes in our disciplic succession. And he has this great disciple known as Baldev Vidyabhushan, and also Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, whom Srila Bhakti Vinod considered as his life and soul, as his Siksha Guru. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur was considered by Srila Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj as his Siksha Guru and life and soul. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada considered Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj as his life and soul. And of course, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada considered his divine grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada as his life and soul. And we, as followers of Prabhupada, as a part of this wonderful movement of Iskcon, we are all followers of Srila Prabhupada. Just as when you know someone, that's the beginning. But when you actually love somebody, then there is seva involved. There's service. And without service, there is no reciprocation. Service entails reciprocation. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti actually is glorifying not only his Guru, but he's glorifying his Siksha Guru and all the other Gurus in the line. That is why when we sing the line, Vande Guru, it is plural, G-O-U-R-O-H, Sri Charana Ravindam. Vande Guru Sri Charana Ravindam. What are the symptoms of the pure Vaishnavas? Samsara Dava Nala Lida Loka Tranaya Karunya Ghana Ghanatvam Praptasya Kalyana Gunarna Vasya Vande Guru Sri Charana Ravindam. Samsar, the word samsar means where there is repeated birth and death. It's the material world. Krishna describes the material world in the Bhagavad Gita as dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It is full of miseries and it is temporary. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes that this whole, in his Vishishtastakam, he says that it is bhavadava mahaagni nirvapanam, that the davanal that we are talking about in the Guru-ashtakam, the same thing he is saying, Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhavadava Mahadagni Dirvapadam. This material world is full of, it is like a forest fire. We are continuously burning in a misery, regardless of what our stature may be, whether one is spiritual or not spiritual. Even those who are practicing devotees, we are still burning due to so many different desires that are there due to the onslaught of Maya. What to talk about the others? There are three major types of tapas or miseries: Adhyatmik, Adibhautik, and Adidaivik. Klesha, that is called. Miseries that are inflicted by others. People sometimes are rude to us, or sometimes you are just simply relaxing in your yard and a mosquito bites you. That is called Adhyatmik Klesha. When miseries are inflicted by others. Nobody is bereft of that. There is Adibhautik Klesha. The miseries that are inflicted by natural catastrophes, earthquakes, tsunami, drought, etc. And there is Adhyatmik Klesha, miseries that are inflicted by the self. We all get fever, we all get pneumonia and all kinds of different kinds of diseases, or muscle pain and depression, and what to talk about as you get older. So Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Dosha, Anudarshanam. Krishna says that these four things are a part of the material world. You cannot expect to get rid of these. But these things are like a huge forest fire. A forest fire is, Prabhupada says in his purport, that it is started. There is no reason how it starts. Nobody knows the reason. Actually speaking, we have been here since Anadi Kal. That's the word that Thakur Bhaktivinoda uses. We can't even put a year or years, like we've been here for thousands and thousands of births or millions of births. The word that he uses is Anadi Kal, since time immemorial. Srila Prabhupada also has used this word in many of his purports and many of his translations. So we've been suffering. Puna puna janam, puna puna maranam. Based on our karma, Ei rupe brahman brahmite. We are simply oscillating. Sometimes we do some pious activities. We go into the heavenly planets. Then we come back again. And then again, we are again thrown based on our associations. Sometimes we commit impious activities. And when the imbalance increases of the impious activities, we are thrown into the lower region known as the Narkiya Lok, or the hellish planets. So Ei rupe brahman. In the Brahman there's hell, there is heaven, and then there's the middle planetary system. We are simply oscillating based on our karma. And that is like a forest fire. It just starts, we don't know when and how it happened. And the most important thing is we should know how to get out of it. And to get out of it, the forest fire, what is the best solution to that? The best solution is it that you call 911 and they come in with their fire engines? Can that extinguish a fire? Of a forest fire that happens, that burns down millions and millions of trees, and there's so much devastation? No. Only heavy rainfall can really extinguish a forest fire. So samsara davanal, this birth and death, repeated birth and death in this material world, is like a forest fire. And Srila Gurudev, Acharya Srila Prabhupada, personalities like himself, they come down, they descend like a thundering cloud that showers rain to extinguish our burning fire by giving us the spiritual knowledge. That is why we always, before we start any auspicious activity, we always remember Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, but my Guru opened the eyes with the torch of enlightenment. I offer my respectful obeisances unto that Guru. And how does he come? Praptasya Kalyana. Praptasya Kalyana. Praptasya Kalyana means he obtains this auspiciousness. Kalyan means auspicious from the parampara. It is not that it is whimsically obtained. It is not that they become Guru overnight by some election or by selection or just by public demand, as we see that happens in a lot of places if you go all over India. Unfortunately, anybody can become Guru these days. But that's not the symptoms of how you... Praptasya, the word is praptasya, means they have obtained this from their predecessors as it is. That is why Srila Prabhupada gave all the books as it is. His Bhagavad Gita is known as Bhagavad Gita as it is. Srila Prabhupada was very much praised by so many reporters and even the Prime Minister of India when he went back from the West, that Swamiji, you have done wonderful. You have spread the name of Krishna all over the world. So Prabhupada very humbly used to say that all I have done is repeated my Guru Maharaj's message as is, just like a postman. In India, sometimes there is a lot of people in the villages who can't read. So the postman comes to the door and he knocks and says, hey, I have a letter for you. And he says, my dear postman, can you read it? I can't read. I'm illiterate. So the postman opens the letter and he starts reading the letter. Sometimes there is good news and sometimes there is bad news. The postman reads the letter as is. He does not alter. And that is the most important thing. Praptasya Kalyana. Kalyana is God. In fact, this first verse we can discuss for several days. I have so much limited time that I have to kind of compress everything. Kalyan means auspiciousness. And what is auspiciousness? What is good? Good means, Prabhupada used to use these words. One has to know good in order to do good. people have different versions of doing good. Some people think that, okay, building school, colleges, hospitals, doing philanthropic work, speaking the truth, all these things, taking care of your family, of your children, etc. is all good. Yes, it is good. But that is not the ultimate good. The ultimate good, actually speaking, the definition of the ultimate good starts with the very first, after the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, after the main invocation, Janmadi Yasya, the very first verse, which is entitled the second verse chronologically in the first canto, it says, Dharma projita kaitava atra, parmo nirmat saranam satam. This Srimad Bhagavatam warns, right away Vyasadeva is warning, that this is not meant for all people following all types of varieties of religion or all types of dharma, or those who have the relative goodness. For those dharma, it is, the Bhagavad is saying that don't go further. It is meant for those who are thoroughly honest. Prabhupada uses those words. Those who are thoroughly honest, then you start. That is why the very first verse, Dharma Projita. We have all different kinds of varieties of dharma that we have obtained due to our bodily connection. Some people think that because I am born in India, my dharma is to consider India my motherland or my fatherland, etc., to be my primary. Patriotism is considered the main dharma. People think that because my family is born of me, my children, my relatives, the extended family, my society, my country, all these are isms which Prabhupada and Bhagavat have given us. That is Kalyan. Kalyan means the highest auspiciousness, which is absolute. It is not dependent on a particular situation. When Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, when he was working as a young man in the Bose laboratories, one day after work, one of his friends, Bipinda, came, and Bipinda told Abhay Charan, Abhayda, come, today I want to take you to a very special sadhu. He is giving a lecture on Ultadanga Road in Calcutta. So Abhay Babu said, I don't want to go. I have my Radha Madan Mohanji. I want to go home and serve them. If you want to go, you go. My father, Gaur Mohan De, was very naive. He actually served many types of sadhus. Anybody who came in the garb of a sadhu, he used to serve them. Give them money, give them food, etc. But I don't believe in just going and seeing and meeting anybody. So there was kind of a tug of war. He pulls him by the sleeve. He says, Abhay, 5 minutes only, come. So then Abhay Babu says, okay, I'm coming only for 5 minutes. So then he goes, and on number 1 Ultadanga Road in Calcutta, and on the top of somebody's terrace, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada was giving a lecture. And as soon as Abhay Babu entered, he looked at him and then he commented, you seem to be a very educated person. You should be preaching the glories of Mahaprabhu and Bhagavad Vani to the English-speaking world. This is the first exchange. After the lecture was over, Abhay Babu, he humbly asked a question. Like sometimes we do ask questions after the lecture, right? He says, Swamiji, who is going to listen to our message of Mahaprabhu and Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad when we are slaves? We are talking about, this is the 1920s. Our first duty, our first religion or our dharma is to free our country from the clutches of the British slavery. That is our dharma. And absolutely, Prabhupada, that was his term. He was actually a part of the Gandhi movement. It sounded like a very valid question. And then, what is the answer that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj gave? He said that you're talking about the freedom that is temporary. I'm talking about a freedom is of permanent nature, the freedom of the soul. Are you really free? Nobody wants to die, but death comes upon you. Nobody wants to grow old, but old age is forced upon you. Nobody wants to fall sick, but sickness is forced upon you. And some of the people who are intelligent, they say, I would never like to take birth again. I want moksha or liberation, but it just comes back again based on your karma. You're forced to take birth based on your karma, on your previous karma. So where is the question of freedom? The kind of freedom that I'm talking about is the freedom of the soul, which is eternal. What is the guarantee that today India is a slave, you free it, and 200 years down the road it will not be a slave again under the annexation or a rule of another country? He said, politicians will change, but politics will not. So when Abhay Charan Babu heard this, he went home and he cried and he told his father, my dear father, I have found my Guru. I was defeated in this argument and I have so much pleasure in being defeated. So generally when we are defeated in a debate or an argument, we do not get pleasure. But he told his father that I am, I find this pleasure. That is Kalyan, Praptasya Kalyan. Kalyan means knowing good, the ultimate good. You may give your children, you may have a lot of money, they may be born with a golden spoon in their mouth. You may give them everything that they need. As they grow up, you put them to the best schools and colleges. But all that is all material knowledge. You may give them best gifts. You may give them best computers and fast cars and everything. But at the end of the day, when they die, they're going to take their karma. You're going to take your karma. And when we split apart, we don't even know if we will get a human body. So sometimes we say, some people work 2 jobs. I have to put my kid through schools and colleges. And I have to work very hard. Yes, there are many types of dharma, but the highest dharma Bhagavad describes as savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahaituki apratiyata jena atma suprasidati. Very simple. Bhagavad doesn't fool around. Bhagavad doesn't give you any kind of assurances that are less than pure dharma. He says very clearly, savai pumsam paro dharma, the highest dharma that one can obtain is yato bhaktir adhokshaje, pure devotional service unto the lotus feet of Krishna. And what kind of bhakti it should be? It should be ahaituki. Ahaituki, hetu, the word hetu, people who understand Hindi and other Indian languages, this word is common. It's a Sanskrit word hetu, meaning motive. And ahaituki means the opposite, no material motive. When you go to Krishna, our Praptasya Kalyan, this Kalyan means the highest good. Not that you give him $1.25 and one coconut and say that my son has an exam, please pass him. Or tomorrow I'm going for a job interview, please, kindly. It is okay, nothing wrong with that. But that is not the highest Kalyan. That is not the highest. So, it has to be ahaituki, without any material motivation. And apratihata, uninterrupted. Not that sometimes we see there is people who come to the temple when they are distressed. Nothing wrong with that either. Krishna says 4 types of people come to me. Anyways, arti, artharthi, jnani, jigyasu. There's nothing wrong. To come to Krishna, it's okay. But that is not considered very intelligent to ask for material things. So it has to be ahaituki and uninterrupted. Like Thakur Bhaktivinoda says, Gai Gaura Madhurasware, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. He says, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Sukhe dukhe bhule nako sada vadane Hari Naam bole dako. Never ever forget. That is Praptasya Kalyana. Gunarna Vasya Vande Guru, and they are the transcendental ocean of mercy. Srila Prabhupada, I think I'll be only able to cover the first verse because the time is almost up. Can you imagine a personality like Srila Prabhupada who was instructed in his young age to preach Krishna consciousness to the English-speaking world? And when he was sitting in Vrindavan almost at the age of 69, 70, thinking that he had not followed his Guru Maharaj's instructions, he went and he used to go. He started the Bhagavad Darshan, Back to Godhead magazine, single-handedly. And he didn't have money. He used to go to Vrindavan. Out of Vrindavan, go to Delhi to the printing presses, and he used to beg to the printing press owners that, can you please print this? This will do you good if you print this. And this is ultimate good what I'm doing, because my Guru Maharaj, actually Prabhupada's Back to Godhead is a sort of inspiration came from the fortnightly magazine that Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada that established. It is called the Harmonist. Or it is in Bengali, it was called the Sajjan Toshani. So Prabhupada got the inspiration from that. He used to sell them for 2 paise. 5 paise on the streets of Delhi, and it was so hot. Somebody who has been in Delhi or Vrindavan in summer, can you imagine how hot it is? And sometimes Prabhupada used to swoon. He used to faint, and the public on the street used to sprinkle water on him and revive him. That is the compassion that he had. He did not have money. He went to Bombay. He knew that there was this India Shipping Corporation, that the ships used to come to the US and Europe and many places. He begged to a great Vaishnavi who also is from a Vaishnava Sampradaya, Mrs. Sumati Murarji from the Pushti Marg. But in order to meet such a big CEO, Prabhupada used to sit on the steps outside so that he could get an audience from her. Many days he sat on the steps outside in the sun, thinking that when she will pass, is it easy to meet Warren Buffett or Bill Gates or the Ambani, a CEO of a very big company? Can you meet him? You cannot. Or her? Prabhupada used to sit outside, and finally when she got the audience, she said, "Oh, you are a sadhu, please come." And he requested, my Guru Maharaj instructed me that I should go to the Western countries and preach the message of Mahaprabhu. Can you give me a passage? I know you have cargo ships. I will sit in one corner. Give me a passage, please. She said, "No, Swamiji, you have an advanced age. I cannot do that. These are cargo ships. These are not cruise liners." But Prabhupada said, "You are a Vaishnavi. Please try to understand the order of a good spiritual master." And finally she gave in, and she wrote a note to the captain that if he is not well, bring him back on the same ship. Because there was no such thing as ticketing like you get on a cruise ship or an airline. Prabhupada incurred 2 heart attacks on board. And Prabhupada thought that, again, if this happens for the 3rd time, I don't know what will happen. I will certainly give up my body. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to him in his vision, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took care or in charge of the Jaldut, the vessel that Prabhupada was on. When he came here, he didn't know. He wrote a wonderful poem, which was ultimately found in his diary. So humble. He says, "My dear Krishna, you brought me," when he saw the Boston Harbor, "you have brought me here. There must be some reason. All these people in the Western world, they are full of mode of ignorance and mode of passion. How will they understand your katha? How will they understand Srimad Bhagavatam? How will they understand this? It is my Guru Maharaj's order. They have given me, they have entitled me as Bhakti Vedanta. So if you so desire, please make my words come out in such a way that these Western folks will be able to understand my language. Make me dance, make me dance, make me dance as you wish. And most insignificant beggar, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami." This is the compassion. When he came, 26 2nd Avenue, New York, they found a little storefront from him. The hippies used to pitch in some money, and Prabhupada used to make nice vegetarian bhoga, offer it to Krishna all by himself, and there were 25, 30, 40 of them coming eating. And then Prabhupada used to make 20 rotis, 30 rotis, each one of them ate that much. Can you imagine 30 people and they eat 20 rotis? Prabhupada says, "You're not eating well." Some of them were high on drugs. And you know that most people who are high on drugs or they are on some kind of alcohol, they are more hungry. They used to eat and then sometimes sleep there and leave. And Prabhupada used to clean up all the vessels. Mataji's no, 20 times 30 people, 600 rotis single-handedly. Can you do it? And then clean up of 30 people. That is the compassion. That is praptasya kalyana. That is why that success came to him. It is not that it is ordinary, because that passion and that commitment to his Guru, and that is what our parampara is all about. Giving us the best. Giving us the best. Praptasya kalyana gunarnavasya vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. So I think I will end here because I know there is a performance. I know I could have covered 7 more verses, but I think there is so much to say that I probably this can become a seminar, Nityanand Pran Prabhu, some other time. But I'm very honored to be here amongst all of you. And I am very thankful to the management for giving me the opportunity. I know in the past I may have committed many offenses at the lotus feet of Kishore Kishori and many Vaishnavas, but I am here again begging your mercy. And please, I pray to all of you that I can advance. That is, and somehow or the other make Srila Prabhupada happy. That's the most important thing. Because I really don't know Krishna. If I know his best person in his family, then if I please him, automatically Radharani will be pleased. That's all I know personally. Pleasing Prabhupada means, pleasing the Vaishnavas means automatically pleasing Radharani. That is our parampara. That is the main thing. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If there is any, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Samprada Acharya Guru Var ki. Gaur Premanande. Do we have any time for Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Now we go on to the next performance, I believe. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Satchitananda Prabhu. It was very sweet. The Shiksha, the Samsara Davana, Guru-ashtakam prayers are some of my favorite prayers. So I'm very glad you spoke on them. The Sunday school